Hello, hello. Here I am, live, live from my home studio. I guess you could call it home studio. That's better. That's better. Oop, no, need to shut it off. Okay, so we're ready to start in just a minute or two. To get ready to start and have some mystery fun. Yeah, does that work? So glad. Some of my destinations have errors. You know what? This is getting pretty old. Why? They're having trouble streaming with Facebook. That really is craziness. Why? Will it let me know? Can I edit it? It's already in there. I don't know why it won't go. It's right there. Well, I don't know what. There we are. All right. So fix that. Now we should be good to go on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Yes. All right, 2 o'clock, time to rock. Hey, lady here. How's everybody doing this afternoon? I'm Sharon. I live in the Baltimore area, and I'm live at the moment on 3 platforms for our Minute Mystery little session. We do it midweek, midday, hump day, kind of break up the monopoly and bring a little entertainment to maybe a hardworking, stressful day. So here we are. Um, Today, I have several books that we use for those that don't know me. I don't know, I think there'll be people watching this as a pre-recorded thing later when they catch up to it on the platforms that I'm streaming on at the moment. So, hello to all you latecomers. If you have any questions, you can always message me. Um, that's the good thing about going live is that I can, answer questions. I know the live outdoor tours I used to really enjoy. Somebody say, "Oh, what's that? Can you look closer? Oh, could you go back there? I need a picture." Sure, no problem. Love the interaction. Okay, we are going to do a minute mystery here from our friend Jack Patua. Um, Jack, if you Google him, Jack Patua, he is like the mystery guru of all time. He's the goat. Okay, he's into everything mystery. He well, this these are all written. These little whodunits. He has full dinner theater type plays that he has written, of which I have several. He teaches workshops for corporations to get employees motivated. He does motivational stuff. He teaches courses to write murder mystery plays. I mean, he's got it all. He's got it all. So, today, first of all, I want to, let's see, where are we up to here? First of all, I'll read the, I'll read the mystery, and then if we have a couple minutes left over, there's a quiz. There's a couple quizzes in here that test your detective skills that we can look at if we have time left. So, anywho, all right. So today, our mystery is called The Plot Thickens. Plot thickens. So, if you want to take notes, oh, nope, sorry, plot thickens. That's not what we're doing. I'm wrong. Plot thickens is, it's one of their little question and answer tasks, but it's like a match thing. Anyway. Okay. Mystery number 5, Murder by Design. Get comfortable. Everybody ready? I'm ready. Okay. Architect Beatrice Coy had designed some of the most famous dwellings in North America. Her ability to use light and form in unusual ways made her a much sought-after professional. A hands-on approach to work often made her pour concrete and climb scaffolding, ensuring her structures were just as designed. This attention to detail, though admirable, also proved fatal, as her body was discovered early one morning at the building site of an imposing mansion. Death was seemingly caused by a fall from a slippery plank on the scaffolding encasing the 3-story high cathedral ceiling of the mansion's great room. Her clothes were damp, probably from walking through the previous night's rainstorm to get to the site. A large flashlight was still clutched in her left hand. The body had various marks apparently caused by the fall, including bruises around the eyes and a red slash mark on her right ankle. Her umbrella was propped at the foot of the scaffolding, where she had undoubtedly placed it prior to making the climb. Fred Lovett, the lead carpenter on the construction crew, had discovered the body. He told me he didn't touch anything, but immediately ran outside to the house trailer, which served as an office. The boss was there, reported Lovett. He told me he had just arrived and was finishing his first cup of coffee as I entered. I let him take over. He told me to keep everyone away from the accident until he called the police. As I finished questioning Lovett, I noticed someone trying to get through the police barricades. He identified himself as Ronald Meyerson, a fellow architect and Beatrice Coy's assistant. Looking at the spot where his mentor had died, he acted almost as if he expected something to happen to her. She was a perfectionist, said Meyerson, and I knew her late-night inspection tours were dangerous. Often she'd ask me to accompany her. Because of the heavy rain last evening, I refused because I'd rather be in my own home during a thunderstorm. She wouldn't listen to me when I said she should go home too. That's not surprising. She didn't listen much to anyone. He went on to tell me that Coy had promised him a partnership in her architectural firm, but hadn't kept her word. She constantly told me I wasn't ready yet, said Meyerson. We've been working together for 8 years now. I don't know what she was waiting for. I have a lot invested in our relationship without seeing any significant return. Ann Vincent, the owner of the new edifice, had commissioned Coy to complete the design based upon the recommendation of many prominent people in the community. As a person, I didn't like her, stated Vincent emphatically, but her ideas were excellent. However, she had a reputation of being difficult to work with and kept raising her fees as the house construction continued. Just 2 days ago, we had a loud argument over another bill she had sent me for changes she made to the drawings. I knew she liked to put her fingers in everything, and I viewed it as a plus. I didn't know that also meant she'd examine my private life too. Vincent went on to say that Coy had found out the details of Vincent's failed marriage and her lawsuit against a close relative. She went a bit too far, emphasized Vincent. She liked to have dirt on everyone, he continued. She even told me she felt I had made a mistake in my choice of contractors. It was obvious she didn't like Howard Grange, the owner of the construction company. That's probably why she was always checking out Crew's work. Grange told me he wasn't surprised at the apparent accident. She was always snooping around, he said. I get the feeling she didn't trust us. I've been in the construction business for 23 years, and I've never had anyone inspect my work the way Beatrice Coy did. She must have been checking out the ceiling again last night. Her design called for a lot of skylights, and she worried we wouldn't install them correctly. It got to be a joke among the crew. Sometimes they do things wrong on purpose just to get her goat. Yesterday, she even tried to tell our crew how to wire the ceiling lights. Our chief electrician, Gretchen Whitmer, was very offended by her interference. I don't blame Gretchen, smiled Grange. Who did she think she was, anyway? Looking at the scaffolding, I could see how someone could slip if the light was low. And the storm added another dynamic to the case. Who knows what havoc lightning and thunder could cause? As I watched the workmen mop up the remnants of a puddle of water on the floor, I noticed the skylights were being caulked and permanently installed, their cylinders of light allowing the sun to travel through the roof to the expanse below. That's when it all made sense. Only one person could have done this. The identity of the murderer was clear. Now to make the arrest. What say? Anybody have any clues? Any suspects in mind? Person of interest? People of interest? Let's see. All right. Murder by design. Let's go back through it again. Okay, Beatrice Coy is an architect and responsible for designing some famous dwellings in North America. She had an ability to use light and form in unusual ways, which made her much sought after. She was a hands-on type of person. She'd pour the concrete and climb the scaffolding. Her attention to detail, although admirable, also proved fatal as her body was discovered at the building site of an imposing mansion early one morning. Death was apparently caused from a fall, by a fall from a slippery plank on the scaffolding that encased 3-story high cathedral ceiling in the mansion's great room. Now, her clothes were damp, probably from walking through the rainstorm to get to the site the night before. She still had a flashlight in her hand, and her body had marks that were consistent with a fall. She also had bruises around the eyes and a red slash mark on her right ankle. And her umbrella was propped up against the scaffolding where she had apparently placed it. It was the Lee carpenter on the construction crew, Fred Lovett. He found her body. He didn't touch anything. He just went and got the boss. And the boss had been sitting in the trailer finishing his first cup of coffee, and Lovett dumped it in the boss's hands. Okay, let's see. There was someone that was trying to get through the police tape, named Ronald Meyerson, also an architect, and apparently was Beecher's Co's assistant. Let's see. He said he knew his late night tours were dangerous. Often he would accompany her, but he didn't want to go out in the rain and thunder last night, so he didn't go. He told her to go home, but he wasn't surprised she didn't listen. Let's see. Oh, he said that she had promised to make him a partner in her architectural firm, but hadn't kept her word. Said he wasn't ready. They'd been working together for 8 years. Then you have Ann Vincent. She was the one that had commissioned Coy to complete the design based on recommendations from prominent people in the community. Ann Vincent said she didn't like her as a person, but she had excellent ideas. They had an argument a couple days ago about a bill that she had sent for some changes on some drawings. Let's see. She was examining her private life as well. So Vincent didn't care much for that. She said Coy liked to have the dirt on everyone. It was obvious she didn't like Howard Grange, the owner of the construction company. She told me she told me she felt I had made a mistake in the choice of contractors, Vincent said. Let's see. Grange said she was always snooping around, checking out the ceiling again last night. Her design had called for a lot of skylights to be installed, and she was worried the crew wouldn't do it correctly. It was like a big joke among the working workers. Yesterday, she tried to tell the crew, their chief electrician, Gretchen Whitmer, how to wire the ceiling lights. That didn't go over too well. Okay, so looking at the scaffolding, it was plain to see how someone could slip if the light was low enough that they couldn't see. And the storm, who knows what other dynamic they added to it, what else, what other circumstances they could have initiated. Watching the workmen mop up the remnants of a puddle of water on the floor, I noticed the skylights were being caulked and permanently installed, their cylinders of light allowing the sun to travel through the roof to the expanse below. That's when it all made sense. Only one person could have done this. The identity of the murderer was clear. Now, to make the arrest. Okay, so anybody think of anything that uh, might lend a clue or put you leaning towards a certain person? What do we know? We know that, a famous architect has been murdered. And how many suspects do we have? Who are our suspects? Our suspects would be Fred Lovett. He's the lead carpenter on the construction crew. He was the one that found the body. Then we have, let's see. Okay. I'm trying to find the name of okay. Okay, so Fred Lovett, the lead carpenter on the construction crew. Fred Lovett, he found the body. So he is one suspect. Suspect number two, Beatrice Coy's assistant, a fellow architect, Ronald Meyerson. So we've got Fred Lovett, Ron Meyerson. Then we have, Ann Vincent. She was the owner of the place, of the site, and had hired Beatrice as a designer. She said she didn't like her, but she had good design ideas. So that's cool. And then we have Howard Grange, the owner of the construction company. He said she was always snooping around, and he got the feeling that she didn't trust them. Grange said he'd been in construction for 23 years and never saw anyone work the way Beatrice Coy did. And then we have another person, the electrician, the chief electrician, Gretchen Whitmer. She took issue with Beatrice because she felt she insulted her, trying to tell her how to do her job. So, who is it going to be? Who is the person that offed the famous architect Beatrice Coy? Was it Fred Lovett, Ronald Meyerson, Ann Vincent, Howard Grange, or Gretchen Whitmer? It's the time of truth has arrived. Solutions are found on page 59. Oh, good. There it is, right there. Murder by design. Are we ready? Let's see how good we were. Oh, let's see. Should I guess of who I thought it was? I am going to say Ann Vincent, the owner of the construction site, project, whatever. No reason in particular, really. Because she didn't like her. And who knows, she might have had other issues. Oh, the same with Howard. Wasn't she poking around in his life there? All right, let's get on to the solution here. Beatrice Coy's talents were well known in the architectural arena. Her designs incorporated unique ideas, many of them untested. Thus, it was that her strengths, inquisitiveness, and perfection also proved to be her downfall, as they created the motive that would lead to her murder. It was well known among the construction crew that Coy would conduct after hours inspections of their work. When no one was around, she would roam the site looking for imperfections in the manner by which her concepts were brought to fruition. This tendency was noted by her frustrated assistant, Ronald Meyerson, as well as by certain members of the construction crew who felt their expertise was being questioned, like the electrician. Coy's compulsion to be in on everything made her to examine even the personal life of her client, Anne Vincent. Appreciating her talents while disliking her character traits, Vincent had had several loud arguments with Beatrice Coy, undoubtedly wondering what else the architect had uncovered about her past. Could it be that the additional billings were, in reality, blackmail to keep Coy from telling all about Vincent's personal life? But the details at the scene enabled me to construct my own enclosure to surround the events of the fateful, stormy evening. A key question kept entering my mind. If Beatrice Coy had carried an umbrella onto the construction site, why were her clothes drenched? Wouldn't she have been protected from the water? And what would have caused the bruises to the face and the mark on her ankle? Could the water have played a role? In fact, could the water have been the murder weapon? Beatrice Coy's scrutiny of Howard Grange's construction techniques were not without cause. Several of his past clients claimed he had used second-class material. With his reputation at stake, Grange could not let Coy discover that he was not building the Vincent mansion according to specifications. He knew she would be, once again, examining the site after hours, shining her huge flashlight in every nook and cranny. The impending thunderstorm was the perfect way to eliminate the potential problem. Grange would ensure that a skylight was installed defectively, a skylight directly above the highest section of the scaffolding. Beatrice Coy would be unable to constrain herself from taking a closer look at the large volume of water that was accumulating between the several layers of insulated glass. She would be compelled to take a closer look. And in the dim light, while looking up, she would not notice the tripwire across the plank, a tripwire made from electrical wiring that when sprung would partially dislodge the skylight, causing the water to hit Coy in the face. As Grange thought, she became disorientated and fell from the scaffolding, murdered by a deluge and the dishonest owner of a construction company. By the time Fred Lovett arrived the next morning, Grange had cleared away the booby trap, hurriedly mopped up most of the water, and brewed a cup of coffee. Later, feigning ignorance of the death scene, he listened to Lovett's account and called the police. But he neglected to move the umbrella, providing a key clue as to what must have happened. At first indignant, Grange, when confronted with the evidence, acknowledged that he couldn't afford a scandal and had to take action to circumvent it. Yet the scandal, which did mark his company, was one which produced a death and provided the final resolution to his murder by design. Well, that was pretty cool. Did anybody figure out that Howard Grange was the murderer? Did anybody guess Howard? I still think it would have been fun if it had been Gretchen Whitmer, the electrician, because Grange did use electrical wire to form that tripwire that triggered the event that took out Miss Beatrice Coy. Well, my friends, I hope you have enjoyed 5-Minute Mysteries today. I will be scheduling some more in the future. Just look for them every other week, Tuesday or Wednesday. We're good to go. So if you like my content and want to see more, you can support me with a visit to Buy Me a Coffee. My information, the link and all is on my YouTube page, YouTube channel, and my Facebook page. So your support, as always, is very greatly appreciated. See you next time.